For more than a century, people have lived in settlements surrounded by three 50-meter giant walls: the Wall of Mary, the Wall of the Rose, and the Wall of Sina, that prevent the Titans, giant humanoid creatures that feed on humans, from entering. Eren eager was to see the outside world by joining a regiment of scouts. Despite this, his friend Mikasa and their mother Carla oppose his joining the scouts. Even after the scouts return home with heavy losses, Eren expresses his desire to join the unit, which impresses his father Grisha Iga, who promises to show him what is hiding in their basement as soon as he returns. After Eren and Mikasa rescue their friend Armin from a group of criminals, the colossal titan suddenly appears and tears down the gates of Maria's Woe, allowing the lesser titans to enter. When mass panic breaks out in the city, Eren and Mikasa rush back to their home, but they see Carla trapped under the collapsed house. A smiling titan approached them, Carla begging them to flee. Eren watches in horror as the smiling titan devours Carla. Hannes apologized to Eren for not saving his mother, admitting that he was afraid of the titan. Some residents of the Shiganshin area run to Maria's inner wall, while soldiers try to hold off the titans. The soldiers try to close the gate, but the armored titan rams the gate. The residents of Wall of Rose, unwilling to share their food and homes with the refugees of the next year, when food shortages become apparent, the government orders the refugees to either work on farms or fight to take back Maria's Wall. Eren vows revenge and joins the army with Mikasa and Armin. The drill instructor, Sadis, unleashes a barrage of verbal abuse on the recruits. When he bumps into Sasha eating potatoes, he punishes her by making her run around the camp until the sun goes down. The recruits train on the UPM. After Eren has balance problems, he asks Reina and Bertolt for help. The next day, Eren balances on the machine but falls. Keith discovers that Eren's machine was defective and passes him after trying again with different equipment. 5 years after the fall of the Wall of Marie, Keith evaluates the recruits for their strengths and weaknesses. On graduation day, Eren and Mikasa are ranked in the top 10 of their class. They are eligible to join the military police regiment, but Eren refuses and announces that he is joining the intelligence squad, and Armin and Mikasa join him. They are sent to the area on Trost, one of the towns on the outer edge of Wall Rose. The colossal titan shows up and punches through the gates. When Eren comes to his senses, he takes command and orders a counterattack. A colossal titan destroys the cannons of the wall and disappears in a cloud of steam. A regiment of military police hastily evacuates the residents of the Trost neighborhood and organizes defenses before the Titans enter the city. When the Titans are already in town, Eren remembers his lesson. You have to hit a Titan in the neck. Their comrades are killed one by one, and Eren himself loses his left leg. Armin, paralyzed by fear at the sight of his commander's fate, is swept up by the bearded Titan and nearly swallowed. Eren, at the last moment, manages to pull Armin from the jaws of the bearded Titan, and he himself falls into its jaws. Waking up, Armin finds himself surrounded by Connie, Krista, Lance, and Emir. Meanwhile, the Titan approached the city's exit gate, crowded with refugees. After killing the abnormal Titan, Mikasa threatens the greedy merchant holding the cargo to let the refugees through first. Mikasa experiences a flashback. A year before the fall of the Wall of Marie, Mikasa fell victim to 3 slave traders who killed her parents in the struggle. Eren secretly tracked down the slave traders in a nearby hut and killed 2 of them in an attempt to save Mikasa. After a regiment of military police found the children, Mikasa was invited to leave with Eren and Grisha. The surviving members of the squad, unable to make it to the inner walls, lose their fighting spirit when a nearby supply depot is overrun by the Titans. Mikasa, upon learning from Armin that his entire squad is dead, including Eren, seems unperturbed. She rallies the others to reclaim the supply depot, inspiring them to join her in the attack. When the blonde-haired Titan approaches Mikasa, she prepares to attack with her remaining broken blade, but a mysterious Titan appears behind her back and brutally kills the blonde-haired Titan. As the supply depot is swarming with Titans, Armin has the idea to use the mysterious Titan to defeat them. Meanwhile, Jin and the others reach the supply depot despite suffering heavy losses along the way. Armin's plan works, but while the mysterious Titan is able to attract enemies outside, the survivors draw the Titan's attention to the elevator and shoot them in the eyes to blind them, and 7 of them jump from the ceiling to finish them off. After successfully replenishing their fuel supplies, the soldiers prepare to retreat. After seeing the mysterious Titan defeat all the other Titans and then fall, they watch in shocks as Eren emerges from his body. Intelligence Corps Captain Levi and his squad successfully recapture the city from the Titans until they are called to the Trost area on an emergency call, as the Titans have invaded the city. When Eren was eaten and swallowed by the bearded Titan, he ended up in his stomach along with the bodies of his victims. His rage against the Titans caused him to burst out of the bearded Titan's stomach, transforming him into a mysterious Titan. Kids in fear orders the cannons to open fire on his friends to protect Mikasa and Armin from the cannons. Eren partially transforms into a Titan, sheltering them inside his ribs. Eren climbs out of the Titan and tells Mikasa and Armin about the basement. He believes it holds the secret to preserving humanity and the key to destroying the Titans. Armin concludes that he can still protect his friends despite his cowardice and decides to try to persuade them to avoid execution. Armin persuades kids, but he is overcome with fear and gives the order to shoot again. The order is interrupted when Commander Dirk Pixis and his men intervene, saving their lives. In return, Pixis asks Eren if he can transform to block the breach in the Rose Wall to prevent the new Titans from entering. Eren agrees. While Armin helps Pixis subordinates coordinate the plan, morale among the soldiers begin to drop. Claiming that Eren is a result of the secret project to turn humans into Titans, Pixis plans to assemble most of the troops in the far corner of the Trost area to lure most of the Titans away, while Eren as a Titan will carry a giant boulder to seal the hole. Upon reaching the boulder, Eren transforms into a Titan, but it's suddenly attacked by Mikasa. Mikasa tries to reason with Eren while he's in the form of a Titan, but to no avail. Even continues his attack and accidentally incapacitates himself. The squad protecting Eren fires a red flare to signal that the plan has failed. Armin makes his way to the unconscious Eren. He stabs his sword into Eren's left arm, which brings him briefly back to conscious. When Armin tells him about the outside world and reminds him of his promise to kill all the Titans, Eren emerges from his dream state and regains control of himself. Eventually, Eren blocks the gate with the boulder, and Rico fires a yellow flare as a sign that the operation was successful. When Armin tries to pull Eren out of the Titan body, they are cornered by 2 Titans, but Levi saves them in time. All the Titans left in trust areas are destroyed, except for the 2 who are captured for research. Eren is confined in a cell, where he is visited by Levi and Intelligence Corps Commander Erwin. Levi allows Eren to join his squad under his command. Eren is court-martialed by Commander-in-Chief Dali Zachary, who decides whether to give Eren to the military police regiment or the intelligence corps. The military police want to kill Eren because they consider him a threat, while the Recon Corps want to use him to take cover to take over the Wall of Marie. Eren accuses the military police regiment and their supporters of cowardice. In retaliation, Levi brutally beats Eren, but the guy doesn't turn into a Titan. Levi uses this to show the court that the scouts can control Eren. In the end, Zachary gives Eren to the Scout Corps. Levi and his Special Forces unit bring Eren to the old Intelligence Corps headquarters, where under their supervision, Eren will learn to control his Titan forces. The scouts must prove usefulness to the military command within a month. Hanji asks Eren to help her experiment with the 2 Titans they captured. It turns out that the Titans need sunlight to survive. And their bodies are disproportionately light despite their size. The next day, a regiment of scouts discover that Sony and Bien are dead. Intelligence concluded that the culprit is a soldier who escaped with the UBM. The recruits investigate the death of Sony and Bean. Later, Eren meets the cadets at a decision ceremony, where he tells them that the goal of next month's scouting expedition is to recapture the Shingeki area and find the secret hidden in the basement of Eren's house. After telling the recruits about the high death rate in the Scout Corps, most of the recruits leave, but Jean joins in honor of Mako, and others join him. As the Scouts Corps prepares for the expedition, Eren reunites with his friends and finds out what happened to the others. When everything is ready, the Scout Corps begins its 57th expedition beyond the walls. As the 57th expedition sets out, the Scout Corps gathers in its long-range reconnaissance formation. After Armin's squad manages to kill an anomalous Titan, a female Titan suddenly appears in the fight on the right flank at high speed. Much to Armin's surprise, the body of the female Titan captures Armin, but after removing her hood and seeing his face, leaves him alive. Armin is upped by Reina and Jean. Armin realizes that the Titan woman may be another intelligent Titan, like Eren. When the 3 of them report conflicting information about Eren's whereabouts in their formation, they realize that the female Titan is Eren's target and that they must stop her. Avoiding their unsuccessful attempts to attack, she leaves them and heads for the central group. Armin, Rainier, and Jean find themselves in a predicament after an encounter with the female Titan. They have only one house left. They wait for orders to retreat, but to their surprise, they find that the operation continues, albeit in the different direction. Soon the entire formation reaches the forest of giant trees, which only the central group enters. As the Titan woman stalks their heels, desperately waits for Levi's command to attack, but Levi instead orders the squad to cover their ears while he fires his rocket launcher. Levi fires a noisemaker and orders the squad to keep moving forward. Eren recalls how he failed to turn into a Titan for experimental purposes in front of Hanji. Eren decides to trust his squad's plan. Levi's squad is a decoy to lure the female Titan into an ambush, where Eren and his men launch hundreds of grappling hooks to trap the female Titan. While restraining the female Titan, Eren and Levi try unsuccessfully to establish her identity. Meanwhile, the others wonder what is going on in the forest. Levi teases a female Titan, causing her to let out a loud scream that draws all the Titans nearby to her. Despite the scouting corps' attempts to stop them, the Titans ignore the humans and eat the body of the female Titan in a rage, forcing Eren to cancel the expedition. Eren tells Hunger that it was a mistake to think that all sentient Titans are like Eren. Eldu, Oru, and Petra managed to blind the Titan woman and attempt to cut off her hands. However, the Titan woman quickly regains her right eye and kills all 3. Seeing that his comrades are dead, the grief-stricken Eren transforms into a Titan and engages in a long battle with the Titan woman. In the end, the Titan woman defeats Eren by ripping his head off and swallowing his human body. While Mikasa distracts the female Titan to retrieve Eren, Levi destroys the female Titan at high speed. Mikasa departs with Levi, who retrieves Eren from the jaws of the female Titan. On their way back, to town, the scouts are chased by 2 titans, one of whom is killed by Mikasa. As a result of the failed expedition, Eren and his subordinates are summoned to the capital, where the final decision on Eren's custody will be made. In the Stones district, a regiment of military police are ordered to escort a column of a regiment of scouts as they enter the capital. After the convoy, Annie secretly calls out to Armin in the alleys. Armin begs for her help, as he's helping Eren escape from the capital, and whoever is riding in the convoy is disguised Jin. Armin leads his friend to the tunnel, but Annie refuses to enter it. Armin finally reveals his suspicions that Annie is the Titan woman. After Eren and Armin beg Annie to prove them wrong by following them, she laughs and soon transforms with a spike in her ring. Eren, Mikasa and Armin manage to escape a tunnel collapse when Annie, in the form of a Titan woman, hunts for them. Eren tries to transform but can't. When Eren is trapped in another tunnel, Mikasa and Armin distract Annie from Eren. The rest of the intelligence corps distracts and tries to capture Annie. Eren finally transforms into a Titan and lunges at Annie, rampaging into the cathedral and pouncing on her. Eren and Annie fight each other in their Titan forms throughout the stores area, causing destruction and civilian death. After exchanging a few blows, Annie defeats Eren and tries to escape by climbing the Sina wall, but Mikasa cuts off Annie's fingers and sends her tumbling. Eren prepares to eat Annie, but Devi stops him, as Annie must be captured alive for interrogation. Annie cries and her body begins to be covered by crystals.